What's going on, guys? My name is Witty, this is Runex, and today we're going to be working on episode 4 of the Beginner's Guides, and this will be all about Elite Barrows, which is a minigame that sounds a lot harder than it is, and it's also not anywhere nearly as boring as regular Barrows is. It's way more efficient. It's one of the best rune coin methods in the game. It's a pretty good moneymaker as well, and the Elite Barrows weapons can be some of the higher end equipment you can use, such as the Carol's bow that I have on right now. It is comparable to the Scorpio blowpipe up until you're working with Crest Root and the higher end best in slot ranged gear. So that, as well as the Torag hammers, are your ideal drops here. You're looking at around 10 bill for either one of them, give or take a couple bill. And that is, of course, where a lot of the money comes from. Now, the other drops are nothing to slack off at. Like, I mean, all of them are right around 800 mil or more. Some are a lot worse than others, but at the end of the day, any of them are feasible for specific situations. So, before I continue to ramble on, let's go ahead and get into what is Elite Barrows exactly. Well, it's what it sounds like. It's Barrows, but elite. It's harder. It's more rewarding. Coincidentally, it's about the same speed. And if we check the collection log here, you'll get an idea of what you can get there. We have the elite weapons, which you're welcome to check out all the stats if you want to pause and check something out. There's also Grand Crest pieces, as you see below, which you combine for a Grand Crest and open, sell, save for Crest Bearer, whatever you want to do with that. That's a guide for another video. Elite Barrows is easily one of the best rune coin farms, so to speak, and it is quite a good money-making method as well. You can see I've only done 251 kills here. I've had a couple duplicates. The best drops possible are the hammers and the crossbow, which are going to net you around 10 bill a pop, and give or take a bill. These have been going for around 9.5, and the Carol's crossbow has been all over the damn place. It has sold anywhere from 6 bill to, I believe, as high as 17. So it really does, it does depend on how lucky you get selling that guy. It does, however, compete with endgame range equipment, so it's very worth obtaining, and even in an early account setting. Definitely the ideal drop, if you ask me. So I'm going to show you a picture on the screen that is somewhat of an example of a lineup you could have in Elite Barrows. The way the minigame works is the first wave you will have one of the 6 brothers. And then on the second wave you will have 2 more of the brothers that you have not previously fought. And on the final wave, the third wave, whichever 3 brothers you have not seen yet are the 3 that you will fight at the same time. Now, on the waves with 2 and, of course, 3 brothers, their aggressiveness is completely randomized, and they may very well all pile one person, which can be extremely frustrating and can end a run almost instantaneously. So you do have to be careful if that happens. The most ideal setup, as far as a lineup goes, is to have either Carol's or Aram's first in order to get one of them out of the way, so flicking or tanking becomes significantly easier later on in the run. The ideal second wave would then be the other of those 2. So let's say you get Aram's first. You would want Carol in round 2. And a perfect run would have Varrock in round 2 as well. This gets you the bleed effect of Varrock out of the way, the fast attack of Carol out of the way, and Aram's annoying barrage out of the way, leaving you with a third round that is full of melee brothers, and some people do bring magic, which would allow you to completely AFK with blood barrage. That's not what we tend to do, but if it's something you find works for you, of course that is something you should do. However, we're going to jump into a actual run now, and I'm going to kind of walk you guys through how we handle a random lineup, and we'll go from there. So in order to access Elite Barrows, you're going to have to either buy the scrolls on the trade post or receive Elite Barrows teleport scrolls from regular Barrows chests. However you decide to do this is up to you. So how do we actually teleport to Elite Barrows, and Is this a solo minigame, a duo minigame? How should we approach this? Well, we've been running with our good buddy Regal here for quite a while now, so what I recommend you do is to run a duo with someone that you trust is competent enough to hold their own. And in order to do that, it is similar to the Narda scrolls. You're going to use the teleport scroll on your teammate. This will pop up, and you will click on Request Co-op Mode to, of course, it's GIM Regal for me. It is your teammate's name for you. It will send them a request. You can pot up, do whatever you want to do here. And then we get thrown in to Elite Barrows as soon as Regal accepts the invite, which, as you can see, we jump into an Elite Barrows round here. You click on this guy, and one of the brothers will spawn. This time we got Carol, so there is potential here for us to have a perfect lineup. With Carol being first, our ideal setup here would be to have Arams and Varrock next. And then it leaves Guthans, Darox, and Torag in the final round, and it is essentially AFK. Now, this is a good time to talk about what the brothers do as far as their special abilities, so to say. Carol will drain your run energy, he will venom you, and he, of course, attacks the fastest out of everyone. So, usually, if you have him on you, you want to pray against him primarily and flick the other brother. So let's say Darock and Carol are on you, you're primarily praying range, and you're flicking melee when Darock hits. Let's see what we get on round 2. It is Torag and Guthans, which is not ideal. So now we know we have Arams, Varrock, and Darock on the last wave. And we have to kind of hope that they don't all gang up on one person, because it could make it incredibly hard to survive this. Yeah, so interrupting this video just a little bit because I'm not 100% sure what happened to the clip of the third wave in this Barrows run, but I did want to kind of go over a few things because obviously there are two Barrow brothers that I haven't, shown you a picture of their abilities, I guess you'd call them. We have Varrock, who has a +1 to attack speed and a 25% chance to bleed the player for 5 damage per tick, and this will hit 5 to 10 times randomly. And then we have Aram, who basically just ignores the magic level, your magic level, in defense calculations. So Aram's pretty much just hits 30s and sometimes 40s. That's basically all you need to know. So back to the video. So we are finishing up Torag here, and you will get your first experience of Wave 3. And we just kind of have to hope for a good lineup here. You see Aram is on us, Carol is on our partner Regal here, and Darock is also attacking him. So what he's going to do here is he's going to run Darock around the room a little bit in order to get his hit on a different tick than Carol. That way he can flick them a lot easier. And he should have just accomplished it there. And he did. So now he will flick between ranged and melee. And of course, I was semi-AFK, so not paying attention. But talking to you guys, what you want to do in this situation, like I said earlier, is help him take out the either ranged or magic brother, so Aram or Carol. We're going to help him take out Carol first so he can simply pray melee, and then we will pray magic, sorry. And then we will take out Aram next, and Darock last, because it just makes sense. So now we're going to hop on to Aram's, especially considering I halfway killed him anyways. It's kind of the obvious choice now. And then we will finish off Darock, and that will be the entire minigame in a nutshell. As simple as that sounds, it is that simple. Is if you have a competent partner and you're able to, flick prayers and when to eat in PVM situations, this minigame is made for you. It is very good money. It is very good rune coins. It is very good gear for the late game, and if not, at least the mid game. Sorry, got another text there. And so it's really worth doing in its current state. This could of course change, but at the time of this recording, it is probably one of the most efficient ways to do PVM in any capacity if you're trying to make money and progress your account. So hopefully I was able to kind of convey what Elite Barrows is and just how easy it is for how overpowered the rewards are. It is honestly something you can get into an hour to maybe 3 hours, depending on your game mode, into your account's creation. I mean, you create your account, you progress to maybe 80 ranged, and you're able to go with someone and be carried and get drops. I mean, I didn't really explain the loot mechanics, so I guess to go over that really quickly, essentially what happens is if you're to get a rare drop, whoever used the scroll on the other player, or of course if you're solo, it's just gonna be yours, but if I use a scroll on someone and we hit a rare box, it's gonna be in my name in yellow, but we will both be guaranteed a drop. So if I'm to get a rare chest, I might pull an Aram's staff, and you will also pull something. It's 100% of the time, both party members are going to pull something. So the drop rate for that is, I believe, 1 in 32 if you're in a duo, and 1 in 16 if you're solo. So if you're able to manage a solo, it's definitely worth it. If not, then 1 in 32 still isn't that bad for an elite, especially when 2 of the items are worth 10 bill, give or take. And of course, they're also very, very good weapons, so it might be worth just keeping them. Regardless of that, I definitely hope this video helped you guys out. I know a couple of you have asked me to make an Elite Barrows guide just to kind of get a feel of it before you go in, so hopefully this fits as that, and appreciate you guys watching. I will see you in the next one. Have a good one. Deuces.